Right, we're going to play a game of rapid chess. This will be 10 minutes each, so up to 20 minutes long. We've just gone through 650 now, so 1574 question mark. Good luck. That question mark means it's a provisional rating. 127 games for opponent, but 1200 in Blitz there, so not a brand new account. You've got a timer there to make your first move. Okay. Because of that, I'm going to match it on the diagonal immediately. Just because of this structure that my opponent has gone for. Yeah, that's the Blitz symbol, 1453 rating and 1200 games, so not a brand new account. I think we just castle here and then just drop the knight back, or knight across. Actually, knight across stops a pawn push, but it puts your knight a bit out of where. Oh, so he's gone there, okay. How much do I want to force the issue or not, as the case may be? Yeah, I'm just going to go d4. I'm just wondering whether to do knight here or knight here and look to trade, but it's going to invite a bit of a pawn storm. If I go here, oh, is that just a blunder? Is he's deliberately sacking the pawn. I can go with knight or bishop. I think bishop is best, because we get an immediate attack to the queen. Okay. So I could drop the bishop back and then we're safe there, but we can still pop the knight there. Trying to remember here. So drop the bishop back somewhere. Down, knight takes. If rook takes, I take the bishop. If bishop takes, knight takes. It's very, very bold, this. I can just plop the bishop on h4 to stop all the pawn push. But then how does the bishop get back into play? I could even just go here, couldn't I? I'm just going to go here, see if he does this. It's extremely bold, isn't it? I've got queen up and in depending on what he does, so we do have a potential counter punch quickly. But here knight takes. He's played bishop up, so I think I've got the immediate queen up here, just threatening to come in before he castles queen side. He might have to do something like this, and then we've got to move like knight up or something. h4 we could do. I'm going to develop the queen. Just threaten the obvious to come straight in. Maybe he might have to play a move like f5. Okay, that's what he's done. So we can play a move like bishop up now or knight up. Knight up, takes, takes. Pawn down. I think we ignore it with knight up. I've got bishop up as well. Actually, I don't think I want any of that. I'm going to go c4 and look to play d5. I've kind of opened a bit of pressure up here unnecessarily though, haven't I? I've given him this free push. Knight takes, bishop or rook takes. I can still take the bishop though and hit the rook at the same time, but it can really explode here. Takes, I might have to go with the f-pawn and run this way, so I've got to be careful, but I'm trying to push here to restrict the bishop and challenge this pawn structure while his king's in the middle. But I could be easily messing up here. It's one of those offbeat openings where you're not at my level, you're not booked up on the theory. Unless it's something you play yourself and you play it all the time, of course. Yeah, the knight's come up, so can I just go here now? I can't believe he's going to castle that side. That would be stupid, wouldn't it? So I'm looking to go here, and if you take, I could just take this way, even if I sack a pawn. It's got to be right to play d5, but there is still a potential issue here, and say we don't take. If we do now, he can just take and open things up, but if we ignore it here, I can just simply drop back. That feels fine. If he takes, I might have to go with the f-pawn, and then it's getting a little bit murky. Bishop down as a move. Yeah, I might be going slightly wrong this game, or very wrong. If I take and trade the queens, then that takes a load of risk out of it. He's played knight forward, so what's he trying to do with that? What is knight forward trying to achieve? So I think I can just take the pawn here. Takes, queen takes, either takes. Maybe just the knight up. Actually, the knight up immediately looks strong, doesn't it? Because we're simply threatening to take. If he takes, I can go with the queen, hit the rook. Bishop blocks, I can block with my bishop and Just get material off the board. Otherwise, I'm simply threatening take, take, and take. But yeah, he's committed himself. He might as well push the pawn. It might actually work, of course. He's kind of committed to the idea. So takes, takes, take here. Then we're threatening queen check. Again, because it's one of these offbeat openings, the engine will probably say our accuracy figures are relatively poor for this game. We'll find out afterwards. So I like queen up here. Knight's attacking the queen, so queen up creates a counter threat. Bishop down, bishop up. Takes, I take still. Yeah, that's got to be okay. Here, if you push on, I simply take either way. So it's got to be right to go up and hit the rook. I can always bail out and drop back if I need to, if I'm missing something. I think just bishop up here. We threaten to take and win a bishop. If you take, we take and we still hit the rook. So we're creating a counter threat immediately, trying to stop these pawn pushes just to a lack of time. But very dangerous. I'm not pre-moving here, but I'm pretty sure I just take back with the queen. But I've still got to consider taking back with the knight. But I'm threatening just to simply take the bishop now if he does nothing. He's moved the rook up. Okay. But if he goes with the queen, in principle, I'm quite happy to trade off rook material. I've got knight up now with an immediate threat. I guess he can just do this. Again, I could just simply take, but then that allows the knight back. Knight up just pushes him into d6, doesn't it? But that might be good. Take, something takes, take, take, knight check. Yes, a knight up looks like a strong move to me. Queen takes, I just take back and we still got the check threat here. Maybe queen and hitting the rook, it all looks good. Knight up looks good because it creates an immediate threat. If takes, I think I go with the queen and I'm threatening queen to g7 to hit the rook from behind, I think. And if you take, take, I'm still threatening check. But, as with any chess game, you only need to miss one key move. We've already both lost nearly 4 minutes already. But where's the black king going to end up? He might have knight a6. He might have to play knight a6, either of them. Let's just see what he does. Yeah, knight a6, I might have b4 if he plays the knight on b8. Let's just see. Depending on what black does, I might even throw in h4 as a move. It challenges my bishop immediately, but I thought this was okay to trade. He'll have to go with the rook, or I just get in here. I think this was what I was intending anyway. I'll take there. I'm just wondering whether to throw h4 in to stop h5. Okay, you can still push here. It weakens my structure, but it takes away this risk. So he has gone with the rook. Now I can actually still take with check here. If you take, I take the rook. If you don't, I can take the other rook. So I've still got that as a move. My queen can get out the way if you push. I'll drop back. So I assume I just take here. Take, take, and it looks very bad for black. So I'm going to take the pawn. Now I'm threatening check, or maybe even just check here and try and collect this dangerous pawn. If you push now, I can check and collect. So he's gone with that pawn. So have I got a move like knight up now? Probably fine to take. Anything better? Maybe I just take here. Yeah, I think I do. I think I take this and then this one with a check. Okay, so I'll take that one with a check. Okay, gone back. So I can check, try and collect this. If you go up, check, up, would lead to all sorts of nasties. So check looks strong, up, check, back. Worst case, I can check here and collect. I could activate a rook, but I think it looks good to check. I think a check looks strong. Half of my time has gone already. Okay, but if he goes wrong here, depending on what he does, if he comes forward, there might actually be a checkmate. So he can't come forward. I think that's checkmate. So he has gone back. So we've got the option to trade. We can just check and collect here. Actually, I've got the bishop can come here as well, haven't I? So let's just throw the check in, because I've got the bishop to activate as well, and then try and force him forward. That would be a really nice checkmate if it is a force mate. So he's gone back over, so he sees it. Okay. I mean, I can still collect the pawn. It feels like there should be something better. I don't see it though. I don't see the checkmate because he found the right move, so he could see that the mate was there. So I'm just going to grab the pawn. As long as I win the game, I don't really care how I win it. But we're, say, half a minute up on the clock, but we're both down to just 4 and a bit minutes now. So we're up 3 pawns and we're up an exchange, aren't we? 5 pieces each, but we've got 2 rooks. Opponent has got an extra knight for our rook. But we've got 6 pawns against 3. We can get the queen easily out of the way again. If you're on a light square, we can activate the bishop. Otherwise, I'm just going to try and activate the rooks. Maybe even just get rid of this pawn just to open the file up. But again, risk and reward. Knight forward is a move. You can take, I can take, but it's activating the queen. Okay, let's just see what black does. Oh, my opponent just resigns. He doesn't see anything to do. So, okay, let's put that through the engine and see where we actually stood with it. But I get no rating at all for that game. But you can see how a game like that could easily go wrong and I could lose an awful lot. So there are our move times. Be interesting to see how I played this opening, because obviously it's one of them offbeat openings where you look at them, but you get yourself out of opening theory relatively quickly. And we've actually both played it pretty well. 95% accuracy, my opponent 86%. No bad blunders from either of us. In fact, the engine's saying I've made no bad mistakes at all there, so I've played it really well. It's one of them openings where you do see it now and again, but you don't see it in rapid chess very often. But it's a good setup. If black goes with the fianchetto at the very start, then it's good for white to do that as well. So I've played this correctly. Yeah, we're already +1 better here, but the engine is saying I should actually immediately push in the center or go h3 instead of just the castling. So that's a mistake, isn't it then? So, but it's not flagged in the actual figures there for some reason. It must be the factor that it is. You just leave that green bar run and let it go through. So it's still perfectly fine. So correct to take. Yeah, it's saying again, bishop h4, perfectly good move. Bishop f4 and bishop h4 are the 2 recommended moves, and they're both basically equal. And if you go to h4, you're stopping the pawn push, but then your bishop's a little bit out of play. That's why I went to f4. So I'm just flicking through here. And you can see that it's kind of suggesting h4 at some points. You let the engine think a bit, and it's not then coming up. So it's not been a bad game from either of us, really. It's just one of them oddball games where the opening's a bit aggressive, but just flicking through. We're just much better all the way through here. My opponent does well to see the checkmate threat. If you play king forward, then there's a knight up there and the king's got nowhere to run. Then in the end, we just take the pawn. Okay, it might not be the technically best move. The engine's saying just check again, might even sack. Knight e5 apparently is a move here as well. Okay. But as long as you get the win, you get the win. But figures-wise, not bad, is it? But interesting game.